Hello, and thanks for joining Judah Vision, your bridge to the truth. I'm Judah, two-time National Science Foundation award-winning writer, researcher, and Amazon #1 best-selling author of the book Sacred Scroll of Seven Seals and Back Upright. To celebrate my new YouTube channel, I can't think of a better way to begin this journey with you than to expose the junk food giant Pepsico for their shameless role in our real-life Truman Show. By the way, Jim Carrey, a light canister for the star constellation Sirius just fell from the rafters, and you just simply stepped over it. Allow me to explain. Fire and ice. That's what Doritos and Mountain Dew have named their new poison for the masses. Today we're going to drop the veil surrounding Pepsi's new gimmick, which premiered during the 2018 Super Bowl. In this shameless piece, acting giant Peter Dinklage from the hit show Game of Thrones stoops to a new low in his role as the spokesperson for the dark side. After exposing the evil symbolism in this ad, I will prove to you that Pepsi seems to be loudly proclaiming to the entire world that we're about to kill you. The hype piece for the commercial begins with Dinklage sitting at an old creepy mirror while Busta Rhymes sneaks up on him from the darkness, whose mirror image then attempts to teach Peter how to rap. In the other corner, we have Morgan Freeman, whom some say comes from a powerful satanic bloodline, who now sits before the same creepy mirror. An image of Missy Elliot then coaches the older gentleman, with some less complicated tongue twisters, to compete with the younger Dinklage, who's being coached by Busta Rhymes in a battle which will determine which of the two will win this age-old question of fire or ice. Within seconds of this epic wrap-off, there is plenty of occult symbology to be considered here. First, Busta again appears in a mirror image playing the flute, just as did the old goat and piper of ancient mythology, Pan. Pan played an intoxicating tune which would draw in sexual victims, but he was also known for his hideous screams, which were known to cause panic. This is where we get the English word panic. The original Hamelin, Germany version of the Pan story was called The Pied Piper, in which Pan lured people, mostly children, to their unsuspecting deaths. To each side of the fireplace stands the pillars of Freemasonry, and on the floor, the classic black and white Masonic symbology, which are perversions of the architecture of the biblical Temple of Solomon. The mirror imagery tells us that this ad is most likely warning us of a planned event because since ancient times, soothsayers have used a black mirror in a form of divination called scrying. As you can see, the mirror in the ads are indeed black, and if this commercial is screaming to us that there's a hidden message about our future within its content, then what's this message shouting? See, you were paying attention. This message is certainly shouting to the whole world that we're about to kill you. Here is a list of reasons that I'm right. If you've read my Sacred Scroll of Seven Seals series, you know that in the true version of Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, my books, the visual clues are instead found in Michelangelo's paintings, but the most telling of the dark side secrets came from poetry, which is where this Pepsi commercial takes its first bad turn. Being a lifelong poet myself, I even end every Judah book with a poem. As a young man, my favorite poet was Robert Frost, and his 100-year-old poem, Fire and Ice, gave me my first clue of this insidious overtone to this commercial. And now enjoy Bobby's hit poem, which shares Doritos' rehashed title, Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Second, that Busta is wearing military garb signals to us that there could be military action. But from whom? Well, the royal family's crest above the mantle lets us know that the royal family may play a hidden hand in the fiasco. Thirdly, the Pied Piper symbolism of Busta playing the flute is a parallel to the original Pied Piper who, as mentioned, led people to their deaths. Whether these creeps are signaling an upcoming event or rather, it's a sign of this system having stolen our souls with what the Roman emperors called bread and circus, it doesn't really matter. It all leads to our death. Fourth, I've spent a great portion of the last few years writing 2 bestsellers which both finger the royal family and their horrific atrocities, and which reveals these royal secrets' bloodline back to the tribe of Dan in the Bible. The tribe which the Bible indicates will produce the Antichrist. The most unbelievable part of all of this is these 2 books warn of the exact end of the world scenario which Pepsico just threw right in our faces. For your next clue, like all Knights Templar and free-masonic symbolism, the devil is in the details which you don't see. Here, the lyrics lip-sync to Busta's song by Peter Dinklage are creepy, and I'll leave that to your research, but the point at which Peter stopped rapping Busta's lyrics to Look at Me Now, the following haunting bar goes unmentioned, in which Busta sings, quote-unquote, "Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything, a bada boom, a bada bing." And perhaps the most damnatory of these signs is the following outtake from Wikipedia concerning Busta's albums. Quote, "Extinction Level Event. The Final World Front is the 3rd studio album by American rapper Busta Rhymes." Wiki goes on to say this about Busta's fateful albums. The album follows the apocalyptic theme that was explored by Busta Rhymes in his first 2 studio albums, The Coming in 1996 and When Disaster Strikes in 1997. The album art of Busta's The Coming features Busta dressed like a Catholic priest. His new album is titled Extinction Level Event 2, which was just released in 2016. If you still think I'm crazy, just look at my Amazon.com author page, which displays a picture of Donald Trump's RNC convention in Cleveland. I will give you a few seconds to absorb the symbolism behind the arrangement of the floor seating. That's right, it's in the shape of the British Union Jack flag. The United States of America's Republican National Convention. The whole floor seating is in the shape of the Union Jack flag. And if you think I'm picking on the Republican Donald Trump, just to keep things fair and balanced, now I will reveal to you a picture of Hillary's 2012 DNC convention, at which these Russian ships were thrown right in your face, long before our current invented situation. How do I know that these ships were Russian? Just look at this zoomed in image of a flag of St. Andrew's Cross. By the way, the jets flying overhead are Turkish. Perhaps I'm simply a paranoid writer, and these things are simply coincidence. Maybe that very notion will save my life, but this video about the clues hidden in the Back to the Future movies depicts far more subtle clues to the events of 9/11, which as we know came to fruit. So fire or ice, you decide. In my books, we will decode all of the hidden meaning behind the royal family crest, which mostly displays symbolism from the book of Revelation, the horrible outline of the apocalypse. We will also connect the royals to the Knights Templar, the Vikings, and follow them all the way back to the ancient Canaanites of the Bible. My new release titled Back Upright would be the best place to start. If you like this video, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel and share this video on social media. Together, we can all make a difference. Thank you for choosing Judavision, your bridge to the truth.